That's really just a fade out there, isn't it? Hello and greetings. Good welcome. Good morning and welcome everyone. How are you doing? Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, right. Hello, Uncle Sup. I forget that some of you are not in the western half of the world, and some of you are much further east than I. Well, I hope that you're having a good one. You know, a good, reasonable start to your week. I had a weird night, man. Weird night. Didn't sleep enough. Kept waking up. Ooh. Oh, that's some warm coffee. That is some hot coffee. Usually I pour my coffee before I take it upstairs, but today I just got it out of the carafe, which means that it's still hot as fire and brimstone, let me tell you. My word. You know what? I could sit here and chat for a while. I could sit here, but I don't know what I don't know what I would chat about. There's not a lot for me to talk about right now. The weekend has been sleepy and quiet, and I don't know that anything that I've gone through over the weekend is really worth discussing. Because there wasn't a whole lot. I got out less than normal this weekend, overall. Man. So you know what? Let me adjust the camera right away, and we're just gonna get into the good time of actively making stuff in Minecraft. Yeah. I was thinking about going back to RoboCop today, but I kept thinking about Minecraft and the things that I want to get done on my server. Hence the reason why I decided to swap out to it. So since the last time that I worked on the server here, I've done a little bit of modification. I've changed the smelter operation. And I have a handful of things that I would like to do. William, you could talk about your favorite Fallout. I mean I've been over that topic so much, and is it really worth discussing again? Fallout Quest. Oh, okay. Dang, we're up to hopper-fed furnace arrays already. Very, very funny, lying. Very funny. So, the last time that I was on my server here and working on my forever world, as it were, all I did was I continued to, you know, harvest and farm up PurPur, and then, you know, go for ice, which is I have a little ice farm behind the bunkhouse on the other side of the compound, so, and that's all I did whenever I streamed it. And since then, I've just been like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do a little bit of that, because, you know, like you fall in and out with your activities on Minecraft. You know, like you'll have these high points where it's like, yeah, I'm gonna this is all I'm gonna do, and you know, it's your thing. And then, you know, you get a little bit bored with it eventually, and you're like, I'm gonna go on and do something else. So that's effectively what's happened right now. I've hit that high point where I'm like, I'm gonna keep working on this. And because I left my character here, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep harvesting things, because I don't have a whole lot of PurPur to build with if I want to go and build with it anywhere on the server. And that pointed out to me some problems with the harvesting system that I have. Not necessarily that it isn't automated. God knows I could probably come up with an insanely complicated and butt ugly redstone system. But I think the system that I have in place is fine. It's just a little bit undersized for what I want, you know? So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to improve some of the harvesting systems. I'm going to improve some of the farms, and either scale them up or create new ones. There's also the fact that the passage into the fortress that leads to the end, I want to make a new entrance for it. Like, I want to make a more direct entrance to the fortress underground, and that involves building a new building, you know, so that I can access it faster. Automation time? Yes and no. Okay. Picked up all the scattered bits. Like this, like the main reason I want to do this is because this field here for the chorus fruit, it does not produce that much chorus fruit. Hello, Ratchet. I promise I'll give you your kibble in a moment. He's standing next to my foot, and he's just looking up at me like, where the hell did the kibble go? He's looking at me, and then he's looking at the ground and sniffing it, and then he's looking at me. And of course, he does this whenever I'm right in the middle of something. Also, I have an itch on my face, and it is driving me nuts. I've also got an itch just on the outside edge of my nostril. My face overall, I think the takeaway is that I am itchy today. Ugh. Ugh. Okay. Whew. Okie dokie. So, here we go, Ratchet. Okay, we'll go ahead and stash that stuff. Because before I can do any upgrades and modifications to the place around here, I'm going to have to think about where I'm putting additional things. I'm going to have to work on some additional expansions and land modification, etc. Most notably of them all is the fact that I need to strip out some of the land over here, because what I want to do is I want to just rebuild this over there. So 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this shouldn't be too difficult. I just need enough torches to do my counting. So let's go grab some fuel. Do I have fuel in here, or did I stash it somewhere else since I switched to nothing but lava? I've got coal in there. I suppose I had charcoal or anything. Hello, Sansa5, how you doing? Greetings and welcome to the stream. Do I really not have any sticks? Wait a minute, most of this stuff, it shouldn't be in the bunkhouse, it should be in the church. Now, there's one stick. Oh, there's so much coal in here. In fact, we've got charcoal to work with, so... Do I have any sticks at all? I got bamboo. I can make that work. This cat. 2 bites and he's done. Right. You know what? Let's check my playlist really fast here. There we go. I have a little bit of music in the back. Good. Been playing Abiotic Factor. Oh, that's a great one. That is a great one. How far into it are you? Okay, so how wide is this thing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, 17, and it is specifically an odd number for good reason. Okay. Gonna need everything that I'm pulling up here. Okay. You just got to the lab? That's a decent way in. It's a long game, though. Not necessarily a problem, either. Like, I enjoy the game for how long it lasts, but man, it is not a short trek. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so just a little bit more. What I have no recollection of is how exactly I built the pool on the other side, like the operable part of it. Okay, so there's 2. Now we got to go to the other direction. And I think I'm just gonna miss that for a brief moment. I have other places that I can get infinite water from. Like this does not matter. This little pool does not matter. I don't need it. I used it whenever I was working on building this over here, but the original pool. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oops. Alrighty, so I should probably just get rid of the pond up to this point right here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of the pond up to this point. Oh my word. I didn't know that the pond was, okay then. Alright, well, a little bit of extra ice. And, what the f... You dick. Where are the rest of his buddies? Well, luckily there are no villagers here, so he can't start a raid. A decent amount of clay down here. Oh my god, I just heard the air conditioner kick on. I didn't think it was possible. We were retaining the cool so well. Okay, so... Okie dokie. What is this wall over here made out of? Chiseled stone brick and smooth stone. Okay. Oh, right. I should probably come back and fix this up the rest of the way. There we go. Okay, and I want 2 blocks of buffer right here. Any tips for the layak? That thing is annoying. The best tip that I can have for the layak is, well, there are 2 different ways to do it. Eventually, you gain the ability to make basically a cage, and you have to constantly put a type of food into it that you can grow. Okay, so like that is the most reliable method to manage the layak because it will continuously show up no matter what otherwise. The second option is to put an X-ray gun into your base in a location where you typically hang out and or idle. Oh, whoops, I dug too far down. I'm listing these in reverse order. So, like, the best option, if you just don't want to have to deal with the layak at all, is the cage. And I don't remember how exactly you go about getting, like, the cage and the bait system set up. But that is an option, and it comes to present itself at some point. The second best option is to set up the X-ray gun. And I think that you can have a portable X-ray gun, so you can just shoot it whenever you see it. And then, of course, your first and most basic option is to just stare at the thing. So, but I'm certain you know about that one already. So, Man, and even though I've finished the game with friends and I haven't played on my own file in an age and a half, like now that you're talking about it again, I'm just thinking to myself, you know, I could go back and play some more of that game. I am susceptible to the call of Abiotic Factor. I mean, it's such a good game. Okay, I'm just gonna fill all of this in. I'm gonna have to leave the. I'm gonna have to leave this place to get some extra supplies to do some of the building that I want to do. Not this place is not replete with a ready supply of building materials for some of what I need to do. So I'm gonna have to head back to Side Shale and grab up some things that I just do not have here in ready supply. And I'm not interested in setting up a farm to actually get my hands on most of it. So. Unfortunately, I don't usually hear it until it attacks. Oh man, you gotta step up your observational game. Oh my word, do you ever have to step up your observational game? Like that's the entire purpose of this enemy, that it sneaks up on you. All right, so. Kylie Trinket will give you a more overt warning, but she's fairly late game. Yeah, super far away. Mainly because you're listening to music? Well, you got two options. Listen to your music and get caught off guard, because there's nothing that I can do. There is no advice. If you can't hear that enemy coming, there's no advice for you if you're going to listen to music at the same time. It just won't work. So you got two options. Listen to your advice and continue to get attacked, or stop listening to the music when you play the game so you can hear when you're being approached. Those are your two options. And I'm sorry, but that's the flat truth. Then again, you might be able to find a mod out there. Well, maybe you could get around it with disability settings, because there are subtitles in the game. The question is whether or not the subtitles are something that you will pay attention to. God damn it. This cat. This is also something that's like, it's an interesting thing that differs from person to person, right? I do not listen to music whenever I play video games for that exact reason. I'm giving the game 100% of my attention. But I know that like that's a me thing, and like I can do that, and that's not something that everybody can really do. Like I get it, you know. I'm not judging. I just get it, and I'm expressing that like. It's baffling to me to hear that, like, Some people will completely turn the audio off for a game or something and just listen to their music. Weren't you listening to a soundtrack during the reclamation session the other day? Yeah, I was. Like, there's music in most games. Minecraft is one of the few exceptions where I have to, like, mix something into the background. And the biggest challenge always is trying to figure out whether or not I'm putting the music on too loud that you can't hear everything else. Mostly do that for my streaming purposes as well. Whenever I'm playing alone, I typically don't put the music on. A healthy supply of dirt, so much that I'm full up on dirt. Okay, well, what were the 3 types of stone we were looking for? Right, brick, smooth, and chiseled. Some brick, some smooth, and do I have any chiseled? Yes, I do. I'm definitely going to need more of this brick, though, so... Unfortunately, I can't stand quiet. That is another thing that I find quite interesting. That there are many people who cannot stand silence, and that is something I don't think I'll ever personally get it, because I much prefer silence to just about anything else. Okay, so what's the distance on these? 4 blocks? Okay. Like, I think one of the things that, like, put that whole thing in motion for me, that, like, silence is golden, was when I was living... God, my ex-brother-in-law, who was quite the piece of work, he had to have stuff on all the time. So whenever we were living in the same house... there was always something on television. There was no such thing as quiet. You couldn't have it. And by God, that, like, nobody was going to stop him from having something going on, some sort of audio going on in the background, no matter what. And I think that is ultimately, excuse me, what set me on the path of, like, no, I like my silence. I think before that, silence was nice, but not something that I was, like, really, really in need of all the time. 3, 4. Kind of an ironic thing now that I think about it, because my house has that whole it's never really quiet thing going on, for the express reason that like there's always like a fan or something going, or the like the furnace is downstairs, like the central air system for forced heating and cooling. It is downstairs, just basically right in the middle of the house, so there's no getting away from it. Damn it. Didn't mean to use that. So, like, overall, I live in a pretty noisy house. Alright, so there's that. Let's get to putting this together. I'm constantly hearing like we got this new high velocity fan, okay? I don't know how it is like where any of you guys come from, but you're supposed to have what's known as a return vent in at least, like, I think every room of the house. I think that's what good practice building is. It's like you're supposed to have a vent specifically dedicated to getting air back to the central cooling unit. And where I live, a lot of builders just don't do that. So as a result, the second floor here, there are vents to push air out into the rooms, you know, heated or cooled based on the season. And then there are no vents. There's no way for the air to circulate back to the main unit. And it's like that doesn't make any sense. Why would you ever do that? Because without a way for the air to get back to the central unit or escape the house somehow, then like how is the fan gonna move air if it's you can't push air into a sealed bottle, basically. But unfortunately, that's the way that a lot of homes are built around here. So we got this high velocity fan and put it at the top of the stairs to actively push air out and into the lower level. And I love it. It's great. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to. But my word, is it a noisy fan? It is a noisy fan, and like we just got it like at the end of last week, so I'm not used to it yet. And like there's probably a steady hum in the background that my microphone is probably picking up because of it. Okay, so how to go about doing this? Okay. First things first. I need to get the outside frame of this put in. Once I have the outside frame, I know better what I'm getting myself into. So I don't think that I need any more of the stone, because I've learned from the last system that I put in. Um, spruce logs. Do we have? How many spruce logs do we have? A stack of them. Let's take a stack and a little bit more. See whether or not this will work. Because what I want to do is I want to frame the. Oh my god, this is driving me nuts. You know what? I'll figure out what to make this out of later. But I've got a gateway for the freaking stairs. I can find them easy. Ooh. Tevela has arrived upstairs. Okay. All right. This should be the boundary for the freezing pond. Plenty of spruced logs. There we go. Okay, so I have the outline of the actual pool figured out. And who knows, maybe in time, I'll end up just like ripping out this entire pond and like making more of the pools, but for now this is gonna have this will do. This will do for now. The next thing I have to do have to figure out something like I need to think about the gut work of the machine before I can do anything else. So hello Kato, how you doing? There's so much stuff in my inventory, just miscellaneous bits and pieces. Vanilla crafting and mining again, huh? Cool. I mean, I left myself in this area since the last time that I picked up the server, and I've just been, you know, like beavering away at small tasks and whatnot, and I realized that there were some things that I wanted to do that not a half bad project to, you know, do while streaming. So hello Doomsday. I'm supposed to be responsible today, but here I am. What is the responsibility you're supposed to be picking up but you're not? Like, that's the real question. Okay, so just because I'm working on construction projects doesn't mean that I get to not busy myself with the farms. The farms still need to get harvested every single time that I see that they're ready to go. By far, this is the most tedious part, and I've never found a really good automated system for building these what is this? Chorus flowers. I have not found a really satisfactory automated design for collecting chorus flower. They exist, but I look at them all and I'm like, if I can't 100% fully automate this where I just don't pay attention to it anymore and then I come back to a bunch of stuff, I don't know that that's what I want, you know? Not the best harvest ever this time around. Hardware store and apartment shopping. Oh my. I am assuming that you're sick of the current landlord and or property management company. Kato, don't tell me that you're thinking that the prospect of moving out to it, like the prospect of packing all of your stuff up and moving again, you know, for another time in your life is unappealing. You can't convince me that that's unappealing. I actually had to go to the hardware store the other day. Whenever I moved into this place, I had to buy a refrigerator. Because, you know, it didn't come with one. So I was like, all right, refrigerator, washer, and dryer. That was a pretty penny on top of the freaking down payment that I did for this place. But, you know, got it all delivered. And then I got it all delivered and installed. It's been, and that was 2019, May of 2019, so this is 6 years later. The refrigerator light, the light bulb in the refrigerator finally went out. It was an old incandescent bulb. A wildly old incandescent bulb. I don't know what to say about it other than the fact that it's like, wow, I'm surprised they put that in there. I thought that these were more expensive than the LEDs at this point. I mean, moving sucks, yeah, but it's not landlord related. Hardware store is because we've been dealing with ants in the kitchen, and the putty we had to block ant holes was moldy. Oh, lovely. How lovely. How much do you deal with, like, the nasty, like, shower mold, you know? That specifically grows around, on the caulking. And, because I've been procrastinating on fixing that. Where you have to, like, actively clean, you have to, like, hit it with a particular, like, antifungal agent to try and clean up the mold. And if that doesn't work, then you've got to, like, actually go at it with pliers, rip out the caulking, and, like, put new, redo it. Like, I have actively taken to every single time I take a shower. I don't know how anyone else is with their showers and whatnot. But with me, I like how humid the bathroom becomes during a shower. I think it's a satisfying part of the shower, the bathing experience. So, like, I want the bathroom very, very, like, foggy, as it were, whenever I'm showering. So what happens is I let the shower get all foggy, etc. But then, of course, you've got this problem. You got this problem of the shower, of the bathroom now being absurdly humid. And that's fantastic. Fantastic for growing mold. So all right, that's done. So you have this fantastic environment for mold to grow in, and I've had to like actively set up a stand fan right outside the bathroom door because bathrooms are they're almost never like double doored. It's almost never a Jack and Jill bathroom, which I hate, by the way. So I've had to like resort to Okay, I understand how I set it up now. That's not complicated. That's relatively easy to do. So I like, because the bathroom is basically sealed shut, I have to actively because the bathroom is sealed shut, I have to actively go in and put a stand fan outside of the dead-ended bathroom to push non-humid air into it and try to like dry the place out. Okay, how are we working here? Oh, okay. So that's all that it does. It's just straight up. And then there's probably a repeater somewhere back here. Okay. Okay. Bathrooms are cesspits. It's unfortunate that they are. I like it. You walk into most bathrooms and it's like biological warfare, you know? Like, if you can keep a bathroom that doesn't accumulate clutter and become kind of like nasty over time, you are either really good at cleaning, or you are hiring a cleaning service. Those are the only two options, in my humble opinion. I'm gonna get some sealant for the tub, though, too. There's a leak where the sliding door connects with the tub. Oh, man. A sliding door on the tub? Man, that is something that I showers with sliding doors, I love them for use. Showers with sliding doors are awful for cleaning. What's the ice for? I don't know what the ice is for. I've built an ice collection system, and I don't know if I'm ever going to actually use the ice for anything. You know, you can build fast travel networks with ice, but it's very slow to collect. I don't know if I'll ever build a fast travel network using ice, but it's possible. Oh, for sure. Apartments, you know, you can only choose so much. Yeah. Meanwhile, look at me over here. Like, I bought a freaking condo, and there's nothing stopping me from like redoing the hall bathroom, which we basically never use. There is nothing stopping me from redoing the hall bathroom other than the fact that I really don't like getting my hands dirty. I need to dump this. Ooh, there's space back in the smelter for me to dump this cobblestone. And if I'm gonna be leaving this place, I may as well. I had better actually load up on PurPur block. Ooh, okay, my shulker is already full. Oh, scusa. Whatever, I'll just slap that in there. And the sticks can just go, I don't know, in there. Okay. Right, I need to check this other thing that I need. I don't think it was a... Was it a dispenser? I don't remember what I... What are these things? A dispenser. Okay, a dispenser. Thankfully, the inventory actually has a name whenever you activate it. All right. Okay, this is the one that takes a bow, so I have more than enough cobblestone probably, but only got 3 bows on me. You know what? We'll grab those sticks again. I'm going to need redstone. I don't know that I have enough redstone to get this done either. We'll grab some of the... There should be cobblestone inside of this building. And string? Oh, I have so much string. Okay, I'm good. I'm good to do this. Not a lot of cobblestone here, though. So I'll have to go back to the smelter. Okay, so next up I gotta figure out how many dispensers I actually need. So let's count, shall we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. So, we'll make 18 dispensers. I have 3 bows. 3. 9, 10, 11, 12. I might need to make the dispensers sooner. Oops. Dispenser. Okay, so that's 12 of them. Need more string. 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, I only need 6 of them. And then we make the dispenser. Hopefully I didn't miscount anything there. But there we go. And I can stash the cobblestone. I'm gonna need, What type of a button do I want to use? What type of buttons even are available? Stone, black stone, and then all the type of woods. What type of woods do we even have here? You know what? It's gonna go on a darker wood, so grabbing some birch is probably a decent idea. Go ahead and sleep real fast. I shouldn't have come in here. I don't know why I came in here. Did everybody have a good weekend? I hope so. My wish is only for everyone watching to have enjoyed themselves. I have a spare button here. I'm just going to use this spare button. My weekend was all right. Last weekend, though, was lovely. Lovely, eh? What makes a weekend lovely? Personally, this weekend, it was an interesting weekend. A little bit different. For me, I made the fatal flaw of walking into a Ross. Those discount overstock stores, even though they're not really overstock stores anymore, they're specifically just, well, you know. I assume that Ross is a national chain. I'm pretty certain it is anyway. Beach trip with mom and seeing my Washington buddies, meeting the 2-year-old of one of them for the first time. Really? Wait a minute. WA buddies. That could either mean Washington buddies or war buddies. And to my knowledge, you're not a veteran, Kato. But I've never asked. Washington. You sound like someone that I knew. Could not say wash. Always said wash. Chill weekends are pretty good as well. Alright, well, now that I've, there we go. Okay, so get rid of all these torches. Okay. We're just gonna completely remove the floor because that's what makes the most sense right now. Okay. So dispensers need to be placed on every other block. Damn it. Okay. You know what? We'll just rip out the whole row. They were both military, but I never made it through the process with the Navy, so I'm just a civvy. Got to go to a meetup called LGBT on Saturday. That was nice too, even though it was just the three of us. Yeah, that's pretty pleasant. Hello, Ratchet. You're not getting any lap time. Most I can offer you is this. Kibble. And that's it. Kibble, full stop. Do you have any type of like storefronts that you know that you probably shouldn't go into because like you have a hard time holding yourself back? Okay, so this whole row's got to come out. Storables, easily. Wait. Is Storables the name of a chain? I don't think I've ever heard of it. Okay, this should do the job, so that's 1, 2, 3. God, what's the limit on reach for this stuff? Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15? Does it go as far as this one? Okay, so this is where the repeaters gotta go. One. Yeah, it doesn't really matter which direction I go, I guess. I don't think I have quite enough redstone to finish this up. storage solutions kind of store, but they also had modular tables and desks and stuff. It's how I put together my desk that has wheels. You have a desk on wheels? Why would you need a desk on wheels? My office is like maybe a total of 12 by 12 feet. Maybe a total of 12 by 12 feet. How on earth could you ever have more space than that for a home office? Oops. Okay, so it's these two and then a gap. Okay, yeah. All right, gotta pass the night and grab some more redstone. I would move to my partner's room so we could play co-op in the same space. All right, that is even more baffling to me, that you could get the desk through a doorway. That sounds like something that shouldn't be possible. Then again, I have a really chonking big desk, so... Alright, I gotta make a pair of repeaters. We'll take one extra block of redstone just to be certain. As I age, I realize that I have like the same shopping habits that my mom does, which is like buying tons of stuff that I don't necessarily need. That's just like kind of fun in the moment or whatever. Okay. There we go. And there we go. Okay, so that should be everything. My playlist ended too. I can just send you a photo and unbaffle you. Most desks are easy to dismantle for ease of moving. See, that is the exact opposite of the desks that I've ever dealt with. The more you take them apart, the more they break. That has been my experience with just about every single desk, including the one that I'm on here. So, like, yeah, you got to put it together, but every single time you take it apart and put it together, it becomes a little bit more broken. Your office is about 30 square feet. Man, how big is my office? Wait a minute, 30 square feet? That means the room is only 5.5 by 5.5 feet. That's exceedingly small. I wouldn't even fit in that room. Okay, let us test this system by putting single pieces of stone in every dispenser. I think I'm probably misreading these measurements. There's no formatting. Oh, happy day. It's snowing again. I had a friend in middle school who had dandruff, and every single time that he got bored, he would put his hands on his head and he would just muss his hair about, and he'd fling dandruff everywhere, and he'd be like, "It's snowing, Johnny. It's snowing." Okay, so there should be 18 pieces of stone that I can observe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, cool. So all of the stone that was put into the dispensers was spat out. That means that everything is hooked up and working properly, and I can just cover things up now. Also, I am so sorry for how terrible the compression is because of all of the snow particles I cannot get off of my screen. Ew. Well, I mean, we were in middle school. You know, there's not a lot of concern for hygiene whenever you're that young, you know? Doesn't necessarily make the action any more pleasant, but you know. You don't know what middle school is? Middle school is like 6th, 7th, and 8th years. My God, Kato. I don't know how on earth you can work at a desk like that. That is insane. Insanely small. Also, how do you keep your carpet so freaking clean looking? Wait, you don't have cats, do you? You don't have to. Okay, yeah, that would explain why your carpet is so relatively clean. 5th and 6th grade, junior high is 7th and 8th. I mean, all of the education system, at least around here, is consolidated into 3 sections. You've got 1st through 5th, which is elementary school. Well, kindergarten through 5th, technically. Then you have middle school, which is 6, 7, and 8. And then you have high school, which is 9, 10, 11, and 12. All right. Who decided to pick a fight with me today? I'm so happy that they put the ominous bottle into a... You no longer get the curse whenever you just kill them now. You get the bottle instead, and it's so much nicer. High school is consistent. Good old 4 years of trauma or time you'll never be able to replicate. Yeah, that is the way that it is, isn't it? Like, you either remember high school very fondly or you don't. And there's a lot of people who also never grow out of high school. and like that's where they become stunted, and they like their emotional and character development just stops with high school. It reminds me of I don't remember which Grand Theft Auto it was that I was playing. It may have been the fourth one. That or San Andreas. San Andreas had some of the best freaking radio stations. What I remember was that the radio show that I was listening to, there was a guy who was like, he was talking about the best day of his life and everything, and how like he's talking about how he's got like all of this like traumatic damage to his brain, and like he'll never be able to walk the same again, but it's all because he won the game on the football game in his senior year of high school or something. And like that was it. And the guy's talking about this, and he's like 48 or something. It's like he's lived an entire life where he's super satisfied with how he's lived because he won that one high school football game, and he's had nothing ever since. And I'm like, yeah, I know a lot of people who are like that. Peaked in high school, never got past it, you know? Bit more math. It looks like my office is closer to 122 square feet. There you go. That sounds much more accurate. Okay. Okay, I can sleep. Okay, let's do a little bit of math here to figure out what I'm dealing with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, so it's 17 by 17. 64. So 5 stacks. 5 stacks of logs is what I need. Now, unfortunately, what I want to use on this is dark oak. I do not have enough dark oak to do, like, there is no dark oak here at the Church of N. So that's gonna send me packing. I gotta hit the rails. So, but at the very least, I now have an opportunity to swap my playlist. It may be nicer, but I like the story of you being cursed for killing them. You know, yeah, you make a pretty good point there, don't you? You do make a pretty good point there that, like, getting cursed for killing them makes a whole lot more sense. But as a game mechanic, it's a whole lot nicer to be able to actually just drink the bottle whenever you need to use it. The versatility of the bottle is undeniable, but the effect of getting cursed is more more thematically in line, you know? Okay. 12 by 10 feet is a pretty standard room size. Yeah, I guess that is, isn't it? I'm pretty certain that this room here is a 12 by 12. I think this office is the exact size of the bedroom that I was streaming out for all of those years. Chat, let me know if the music is too loud, okay? In fact, I think it's too loud already. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that's better. Oh, what am I doing? I don't need to be at mid crest. I need to be at side shale. This is Sideshell, right? Yeah, that's Sideshell. Oh, no wonder I can't tell the. I'm expecting the alcoves to be different, like the floor to be a different color. No, it's the columns that are a different color. To be frank, getting a lifelong injury is at least semi-decent reason to not move past it. Man. Which is an interesting take, because I've met so many people who have sustained life-changing injuries, and they so many of them have been determined to not be defined by that injury, you know, and find a new and different life for themselves. I'm not saying how anybody should do it, but I've met more people that have fought to not be defined by that one thing that happened ages ago, rather than only be defined by that thing that happened ages ago. Everyone's different. You know what? I'll be right back. Then who's piloting the minecart? For God's sake. There's no chair emote. Do I need a chair emote? Man, I grabbed my pill caddy just to realize it was last night's dosage that I didn't take. So I had to go get the other pill caddy. Also, greetings, Tev. How are you doing? Okay, so is there extra space for like grass, dirt? Yeah, there's space for grass. Okay, dark oak logs. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I will have to. Did I count that right? Yeah, 4.5 stacks is what I need, so I'm taking 5, just to be clean. In fact, you know what? We'll take a little bit extra, and then that's gonna force me to go back to doing more dark oak collection here at Midcrest or Sideshell. And I love the way that these cherry petals come down. That being said, I'm still only running version 21.1, and we're up to like I think we're on the cusp of 21.6 coming out. I I need to figure out when I'm going to update the server again to gain access to a whole bunch of the stuff that they've added. Anyways, I only came to grab some oh man, red sand. You know what? The red sand will go back to side shale, and I'm going to stash it there. Until I have a reliable source of red sand on the server, I'm not going to stash it here at side shale. Although I am in desperate need of actually I am in absolute desperate need of truly developing my system. Words, I know that I've got them. I need water temple. Gah! I knew it was somewhere in my freaking brain pan. Water temple. I have a desperate need to actually go and drain a water temple and start collecting up the materials from that. So echoes of the past. The amount of times I hear stuff from my own music library is absurd. Okay, though, are you telling me that you are also a millennial and you maybe had a really big relationship with World of Warcraft once upon a time? Is that it? Wait a minute. This track didn't come from World of Warcraft. This track came from Warcraft 3, believe it or not. Oh, wait a minute. There's actually a bigger surprise there. This is more difficult to find than it should be. Wow, that's a terrible rendition of that. Evidently, this is one of the things that's been lost to time. That track that I was just playing is it's from Warcraft 2. Is this it? Is this the track? god. Okay, it wasn't orc track number 2. Okay, well that's enough of that. That's enough of that. That song, Echoes of the Past, that they like completely redid. It was originally like a MIDI track from Warcraft 2. It's wild, man. Wild. You should give the splash potion, and if you don't kill them fast enough, they splash you if you get the potion. The fastest system is just an ender chest and shulker boxes. In shulker boxes, etc. Just rename them, I think, anyway. I don't know what you're referring to there, Uncle Sup. I'm a bit confused. Sand. Here we go. I knew that I had red sand somewhere. Okay. I need experience. I gotta repair my equipment before I head back. The biggest fuck I'm old moment I've had was hearing songs I grew up listening to in ads. That's a beautiful experience right there, wouldn't you say? Absolutely beautiful experience. Greetings, Eli. Welcome back. Welcome to the stream, and welcome back from your nap. Golly, this is a long route. I think I accidentally bypassed the Nordic hamlet, and I think that this just stops at Tev's place. Yeah, this just stops at Tev's place. There is a need for another station further back on the line there that I forgot about. Don't worry about me, Tev. I'm only here to, like, take a bit of a poop. Why is it replaying the same track? That doesn't make any sense. Oh my word. Holy crap. What the hell is Tevla preparing for? I want to talk about a woman who's got plans and she's not letting on what those plans are. Oh my word. Oh my god! What's she trying to do? Equip a freaking undead army here? Oh my god. It's so much. It's so much. Huh. She's trying to make a Gatling crossbow. Oh, jeez. I hate to imagine. Alright, now for the fun experience of just standing here and waiting for mobs to spawn. I can take the opportunity now to pour another cup of coffee. And in fact, I have so much time, I'll correct the camera so we can get this in full, glorious screen. Oops. Look at this. We'll even mute the, like, we'll completely mute everything. Wait a minute. Yeah, here we go. Turn the sound off for the game so that you can hear the glorious sound of coffee pouring. Okay. Play the music again. Oh, sorry about that. Give the pillagers splash potions with the curse, and if you don't kill them fast enough, they splash you, but if you kill them fast enough, they drop the potion for you. You know, that would be a reasonable middle ground. That would be a reasonable middle ground. You know how Minecraft skeletons are infuriating super snipers. Yeah, they are, though, aren't they? Oh, yeah, that booming music of just entering Stormwind. This shit is unforgettable. Ah, yes, lovely. My god, almost a whole stack of arrows already. Oh boy. Strife, you're going to make my heart implode. Why? What am I saying that's going to make your heart implode? I haven't even said anything filthy yet today. I could tell some stories about things that I had to bite my tongue and not purchase from the store this weekend because I made the mistake of going inside of a store that, like, I'm always known for, like, buying way too many things that I don't need. Out of. Not purchasing the mustachioed cowboy ghost mug? Aw, such a shame about that throne. So many of the fun things off of it are just gone now. Like, not available anymore. Well, what can you do? I need to start, like, a timer for the repair of my stuff so that I know enough skeletons have spawned. Like, you know, give it, I don't know, like a 30-second timer or something. Like, no, like 2 minutes or something. To have, like, of all the things that I showed you whenever I did the mug, like, when I took a picture of this shelf of mugs in the store and sent it to Tev, I was not expecting her to be like, ooh, the ghost with the mustache and the cowboy hat on it. That's what I want. Like, never would I have thought that that would be what Tev would respond to. Also, Nightbot? No. Eli, why are you bringing up the throne list again? Now, I know that this is the music track for Ogrimmar, but I have more history of remembering this track from, like, a warrior in the Scarlet Monastery. Some nice close-up tongue on spoon action there, Will. I heard an angry statement from the other room. I think Tev is unimpressed. You said something about purchasing something. Well, yeah, I say things about purchasing stuff all the time. That doesn't necessarily mean that we have to go further with it. Okay, fully patch that up. God, I have so much repairing to do here. If you use them on stream, it's a tax write-off. which is the funny thing. I have bought so much. I have bought makeup. I have bought wigs. I have bought so much costuming material, and it all is a tax write-off. It's all a tax write-off. I mean, it's not frequent that you can look at someone and with utter and complete seriousness say, yeah, my lingerie that I buy is a tax write-off. Because it's true. Hell, with the way that I do the coffee on stream, I can probably write off my coffee purchases as well. That being said, like anything that's qualified as food, you're only allowed to write off half of it. So I'm certain that there's some sort of a loophole for that if you're running a cooking show where it's like, yeah, like the point is to cook, not necessarily to feed people with the food. If people eat the food after the fact, then, you know, like that's just a bonus, if you will. I'm a filthy man. I don't know if you're aware of it. I am a truly, truly filthy individual. Like, tickle my titties and slap my ass type of filthy. Man, repairing equipment is a slog in this game. Just realized OnlyFans models probably write off the adult toy collections. Don't know why I find that so funny. You're bringing this up because... I don't know. I've got nothing to say right now. There hasn't been any crazy news in the gaming sphere, in the gamer sphere that, like, is worth discussing. You know, I feel like anything that was recent that happened, I discussed it the last time that I was streaming. Well, if you're asking what? I'm not asking anything. But you are right, Uncle Sup. It's almost certain for like it's basically a certainty that anybody who does OnlyFans, the if you are using sex toys in OnlyFans and that is a source of income, you are almost certainly writing off the purchase of those types of toys. And it's like, yeah, that's just basic accounting, man. God, Uncle Sup, like some of the... Okay, you know what? You just pointed something out that I can absolutely do to fill the time while I'm sitting here. I can bring up the, I can bring up the list of latest games. Or like hottest games on the front page of Steam. And we can go down a little bit of a rabbit hole, okay? Oh yeah. Oh, we viewing horny games? I'm going to be reading the titles of the horny games out loud because I'm just waiting for the skeletons to spawn here, okay? I have, like, decency protections off on Steam so that I can actually see, like, the censored screenshots at a glance without having to worry about it. So, let's see. What's on new and trending? There's always at least one sex-derived game on new and trending. Okay, so the first one is Dead Zone Rogue, which is a roguelike FPS PvE, online co-op. Wow, those are corrupted spiders. Tev, I just found a game that we need to get. And immediately I get a bot. Didn't show up in chat. It showed up with a it was automatically quarantined because, like, oh hey, look at that, it's probably someone evading a ban. Didn't a ton of things get delisted because of credit card companies being pushed by that group of Aussie jerkwads? Yeah, that is a thing, and we discussed it. We discussed it in a previous stream. Turn that down a little bit. Okay, we got Dead Zone Rogue, which is an FPS PvE roguelike, which obviously with its creepy spider things, Tev is going to buy this with me, and we're going to play it a whole bunch, okay? It's only $20, don't worry. Passant, a chess roguelike. Strategy chess casual roguelike. Interesting. New and trending. Ah, here we go. I told you it wouldn't be long before something filthy showed up on the top list. Number 3, new and trending. Sex and coffee. Sexual content, nudity, NSFW. Mature. That is... I'm seeing a lot of fishnet. I'm seeing a lot of fishnet stalking there. Pointless bikini wearing. Yep. Lone Shark. This is interesting. This adventure psychological horror fishing. It's a horror fishing game. Okay, that's interesting. It's only $3.60. Heretic plus Hexen. Oh, okay. So this is a re-release of a classic. A pair of classics. Royal Writ. Looks like a card-based game. What is this? Strategy, roguelike, deck builder, turn-based strategy. Okay, yeah. I'm not much for deck builders. Tiny Bookshop. Cozy Management Life Sim Casual. Huh. That looks kind of nice. Now we've got Mafia, the Old Country. You know about the Mafia franchise. That should be that shouldn't be news in any capacity. Japorium, a cute mining sim. Mining cartoon simulation life sim cute. Huh. And Is This Seat Taken? Puzzle, casual, relaxing, cute, colorful. So it's a puzzle game where you have to get people, everybody to fit into their seating arrangements, I think. How interesting. All right, that's enough time to harvest the skellies. Oh boy. Oh boy, so many. So many bows. So many bows! Alright, I'd better reposition myself. Now I understand why there is a cactus in the collection room of this place. Okay. Okay, we'll go back to the list because I'm waiting on the skeletons to spawn again. What have we got for top sellers? Tiny bookshop. Okay, so oops. Top down, Battlefield 6, The Steam Deck, Marvel Rivals, Mafia: The Old Country, Ready or Not, Grounded 2, Madden NFL 26, Warframe, The First Descent, and Tiny Bookshop. Okay. That's a pretty that's an understandable list right there. What about popular and upcoming? What's on popular and upcoming? Fallen City Brawl. Huh. It's like a side-scrolling beat 'em up. Okay. Super Farming Boy, which unsurprisingly is all about farming. Dungeons and Dragons Dragon Shard. Okay. Dinotopia, which ooh. Ooh. Action roguelike. The Scouring is an action RTS. Rah Rah Boom, a side-scrolling beat 'em up. Gug, turn-based tactics. Abyssus, FPS co-op roguelike, online co-op. Huh. Okay. It's another PvE game. This feels a whole lot like it's basically following in the footsteps and the success of Deep Rock Galactic. I'm seeing more games now that feel like they're trying to do what Deep Rock Galactic did, which you know, I'm all for that. Go for it. Who doesn't like Deep Rock Galactic? If you don't like Deep Rock Galactic, I have bad news. You're wrong. Full stop. Plain and simple. Echoes of the End. Action-adventure single-player magic swordplay. It's got screenshots, and one of the characters kind of looks like Matt Berry. World War Z VR. Okay. You ever play The Godfather 2 on Xbox 360 PS3? One of my favorite games. I think you'd like it. Godfather 2. I think I played the first Godfather game, and I specifically played it on the Wii. I don't think I ever played the second one. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. I had better do something about this. Let me swap the camera background. Okay. There's no getting around this. I really need to do something about how much, like, there's too many bows. There are too many bows. I'm really fucking nervous about potentially, like, hucking something out. Just put that stuff over there. Just delete some of this junk. There we go. Okay. Next up is to grab up... Right, okay. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. It's doing the wrong thing. It's trying to craft from bone blocks before it crafts from bones, which is not what I wanted. Okay, there we go. Hello, Ratchet. All right, let's go ahead and park myself again. There you go. I don't think I'm going to need to do this more than once or twice more. The shop owning / territory thing was amazing. The Saints Row kind of copied a worse version of the territory system, and I don't think I've seen a racketeering system like it again. Man, there are a lot of systems and features in video games that, like, you see them once and you're like, this is brilliant. Why aren't other people using it? And I mean, I don't know. Half the time I feel like it's because there's a patent or a trademark on something, but I don't know for certain that that's the case. Oh, hey. I don't have friends to play DRG with, so I don't own it. DRG Survivor's real good too, and a solo game if you like Bullet Heavens. It's a pretty praise simple fabrication recycling system and also their infinite radial menu. Man, Prey was a really good game. I really wish that the standalone DLC for it, Moon Crash, was worth it, but I couldn't jive with it, you know. Is there ever something that you wish that you did more of, but you never do? For me, I wish I could swim more. You found Moon Crash awesome? Really? That's interesting. I didn't like Moon Crash at all. I found the roguelike aspect of it very yuck. You know, after clicking through the rest of the tabs on Steam, I'm amazed there's not a lot of sex games. I guess that's proof that that there really has been an effect on the market. We'll see how much longer it's going to take. One of your top 5 expansions of all time. Wow. I couldn't feel more different about that. My biggest hate of any company for non-dickish slash illegal reasons is that they copyrighted the Nemesis system from Shadow of War. Yeah, and then they're proceeding to just not fucking use it. They're like, they like that's patent. They patented the freaking Nemesis system, and now they just don't fucking use it. It's stupid. One of our developers came up with an amazing thing. Let's go ahead and lock it behind a wall so that nobody else can use it. And by the way, we're just going to ignore its existence. Fucking hate it. I would love to swim more, especially considering I live in a desert. Swimming is nice. I mean, my biggest hang up in regards to swimming is just the fact that, like, there's no good places around here to swim. Pools are really uncommon. Meanwhile, I've got, like, God, I think I have 3 different swimsuits. 2 that I bought on my own. 1 that was, like, gifted to me by a fan ages ago. There's a picture of me wearing it if you're interested. Exclamation pics? No, exclamation gallery, I think. Only on Twitch, though. That command isn't available on YouTube. Imagine a Total War or even a Fallout Elder Scrolls game with it. Man, that's one that's hard to imagine. Well, Warner Brothers is notoriously bad with just deciding how to make games. Still trying to make freaking live service money printers after Suicide Squad. Who's responsible for Marvel Rivals? Like, what studio is responsible for that? NetEase? Okay. For some reason, I was wondering if Warner Brothers had anything to do with it, but NetEase, so. Alright, let's hope that this is the last round of skeleton murder I have to perform. Not even close. God. This is slow going. Warner Brothers is DC property. They don't have Marvel. Okay. That's the reason why I got it all mixed up. True, it fits a lot better in Grand Theft Auto style games where you wake up in a hospital every time you die. Or Borderlands. Man, Borderlands. I wish I could care about that franchise at this point. The writing has just been so underwhelming, though. They canceled the Wonder Woman game, too. I think that was meant to have a Nemesis-like system. The Nemesis system will forever, like, be beyond our grasp. You know? Oh, we. I'm spending more time getting my stuff repaired than I expected to spend on today. This is this is not what I intended to do for the stream, by the way. Anyway, I can happily say I've played several real good Marvel games and 0 DC games in the last 5 years. Marvel just has their shit together, you know? That's a lot of what it comes down to. Marvel just has their fucking shit together. I still go back and play Borderlands 2 every now and again. Don't think I've ever uninstalled it from a thing I downloaded on. Yeah. Kind of the same situation for me. Meanwhile, Borderlands 3, I played through it once, and even though I've left it installed, I do have Borderlands installed, right? No, I do not have Borderlands 3 installed. Like, despite the fact that, like, I left Borderlands 3 installed for a long time, in the end, I freaking couldn't, man. I absolutely couldn't with it. And I was just like, I couldn't go back to it. So much of it just left a bad taste in my mouth, and I was like, well, this is just the way that it's gonna be. Batman games are almost always good. Well, sort of. There was like one game where they absolutely pissed everybody off with the story, and they retconned what they wrote into the game. Oh, man, so close. Only a little bit more. I think this is going to be the last round that I have to do before my stuff is completely repaired. I don't have anything else that's damaged either. It's just that pick. Marvel mostly have their shit together. The Spider-Man games and Rivals are well made for the most part. The Avengers games and some movies and shows have been lackluster. I mean, a lot of what's going on with the Marvel universe at this point is that everybody's just got... A lot of people have fatigue for it. Go ahead and stretch and move your body to you know, get a little bit of I don't know why I said that. Like I'm realizing that I've sat in front of the computer a whole lot this weekend, I think, and I'm like, man, I really need to do a whole lot of stretching and moving to like balance out how sedentary I've been for the weekend. It's an experience, you know? I didn't like how they changed the loot system. It was iffy on some of the gameplay changes, but the story just completely killed any enjoyment I could have had. Like, the story was the peak offender in Borderlands 3. And with the actual mechanical function of Borderlands 3, what really bothered me about it was the fact that I couldn't, like, everything was made brighter. And when I say everything, I mean everything in Borderlands 3 was made brighter. Everything was supposed to be the center of attention, so I couldn't tell what I was supposed to be focusing on. Like, this whole concept of, like, making your world a bit more dull. Like, the color of the world needs to be kind of drab, while your enemies are bright and they kind of pop. That's one of the major reasons in the original Borderlands and Borderlands 2 that the psychos are wearing orange. The orange is bright, it stands out against a very drab background, so you can tell what the enemies, who the enemies are, and if you're going to shoot them. In a similar manner, the other players are very easy to distinguish from the background and the enemies in Borderlands 2, at least. So it's easy to know if you're gonna, getting friendly fire in or something. But that cohesion of color design wasn't present in Borderlands 3. I was constantly confused about where things were, to say nothing of the fact that I dealt with a lot, and I mean a lot, of random bugs where, like, enemies would just spawn in the strangest places. Alright, this is the last swipe. Oops. Yeah, I screwed it up, but I pulled it out of the fire at the last minute. Okie dokie. I don't have to worry about anything else now. I'm finished here. I will collect up the gold stuff and the basic bows just to dispose of them, though. All right, we are done here. Oh, for sure. I don't want to downplay the failures they've had too, but they actually learned somewhat. Guardians was real fun and entertaining. Midnight Suns was my jam. Spider-Man 2 freaking rules. Yeah, they kind of did learn, if not a little. The trick is to put the IP in the hands of actual fans of the thing, I think. Insomniac's Spider-Man games, you can freaking tell. I had a bug in one area of Borderlands 3 that my shields didn't exist even though it was at full. And you know, it's small things like that that make you go, what is the point here? What are we doing? Why? Okay, so I'm all repaired up. It's time to get out of here. I've sat in Tev's basement long enough. The prison closed from when the Pandora was ran off of prison. And the prison closed from when Pandora was ran off of prison labor. The Guardian game was a buggy mess, if I remember correctly. Really? Was it? What I remember is that it got some sort of an award, and everybody was like, "What? What do you mean a movie tie-in game got like the best game of the year or something award?" And then everybody ran out and bought it and played it. A little bit odd. I'm hopeful that I'm getting the direction correct on this. I might be going in the entirely wrong direction for this. We'll find out in a moment. I think I've gone the wrong direction. Uh-oh. Still wish they would release DLC for Spider-Man 2 like they did for 1. How much DLC did they release for Spider-Man 2? Or 1? Three DLCs. Were those like full-fledged DLCs, or were they like half chub? Oh yeah, I totally went the wrong way. There are no basalt deltas going back to the center, back to the center hub. Crap. I don't know. 2 felt full feature complete IMO. Mysterio felt like it should have been a DLC, but they just put it in vanilla. What do you mean by full-fledged? Like new areas of the map to explore? I don't know what full-fledged would be for a game like Spider-Man, because I have not played Spider-Man. It's just a game that I haven't played. I don't really have a good reason to have not played it, especially given the fact that it was PlayStation exclusive for so long before they got it out to PC. So yeah, I remember my complaining about it, but it might have been the Avengers game. I remember my mum complaining about it. Okay. Yeah, I don't remember there being an Avengers game that was particularly amazing or awesome. And by full-fledged, I also mean just, like, enormously erect. Like, go to the hospital erect. I'm sorry, I have to get some amount of filth in. I'm not doing my job if I don't. The Avengers game had a lot to complain about. That's right, the Avengers game was the one that I remember seeing pictures of people using the Avengers game box to do really stupid things. Like, one person was like, yeah, my window's broken, it won't stay open, but I have this great way to keep it, my window's broken, it won't stay open, but I have a solution. And they went and they took the Avengers game box and they propped their window open with it. Yeah, the Avengers game was definitely, I remember, that was the particular joke that I remember seeing at some point, so. Alright, we are finished with that. Now, I need to head back to Side Shale, because I forgot to dump my PurPur blocks while I was there. I'm doing a lot of running around and managing of resources today, which wasn't really my intention. From what I remember, they were supposed to add a Carnage DLC and a Superhumans gang war, and I think the remnant of the main antagonist group. Ooh. I hear myself getting ganked in Stranglethorn Vale. I don't miss that. Oh my god, Stranglethorn Vale. Getting ganked in Stranglethorn was a freaking rite of passage. You remember at Nessington's camp? Was that his name, Nessington? God, man. That's a memory. Core memory unlocked. Nessenwary. I did this recently in the private server, got ganked more in Tanis than anywhere else, I think. Ironically, Tanaris is the music that's playing right now, immediately after Stranglethorn Vale. DC should go way out there and just make a Sims-like game where you live in Gotham. God, there's plenty of space to compete with Sims at this point because they just refuse to release a new one, and they're just sticking to the Sims 4, all of the flaws included in it. You know, the real challenge is how do you make a Sims game that can compete with Sims? You know, because you're either a Sims copy. I think that that's the biggest challenge. It's the fact that if you make anything that is Sims related, it is just seen as a Sims copy. Nobody really thinks of it as anything other than a Sims copy. And if you are defined by the name of your competitor or the game that precedes you, you're in a difficult spot. It's a little bit like how, you know, back in the day, everybody was making the WoW killer. And it was like, well, if the best way to describe the game that you're trying to sell is to call it a WoW killer, people are immediately going to think, oh, so you're making World of Warcraft. Why don't I just go and play World of Warcraft? I would totally play a Gotham Sims game. I mean, what's a good scenario where you could play Gotham Sims? I mean, okay, let me rephrase that. What I mean is, what would be a great existing franchise that you could use to create a Sims competitor? That's the question. I'll be right back. Oh my god. I thought I was taking too long and that the minecart ride would not be over. I thought the minecart ride would be over. I get back, it's still not done. Gonna make a call or two. Well, have a good one there, Kato. Okay, so now that that's done, we go back on the rails again, and we head out to the Church of the End. You walk around, toss a bit of litter, then suddenly Batman shows up and beats the tar out of you. Or you get kidnapped by the Joker. That's how I see a Gotham Sims game going. Final Fantasy Sim. You know what? Final Fantasy might make the most sense because there's such a wealth of material that you could draw from to make additional content packs for that game. My Hero Academia. Didn't watch past the first season, but quirks would add an interesting twist to the genre. Oh, man. Man, there's skinny guys hanging out in my freaking tunnel again. It occurs to me now that after saying that I just said something very dirty without intending. To be honest, I would love to see a Sim-style game that was entirely a fantasy genre. I'm staring at the Shire game, waiting for it to have a decent sale. The Shire game, like, are you talking about Tales from the Shire, where it's like, yeah, you just kind of like make your cozy hobbit life, and that's all that you're doing? Because the reviews for that have been not great, or so I seem to like. That's what I've seen. That's like, yeah, the reviews for that not doing too hot, but. All right, now that I'm here, I need to set my spawn point first and foremost. I'm back. Okay, respawn point set. Oh, hey, chat. Here's an oddity for me to discuss. I just recently have they? It's still mostly POS on Steam last I checked. And by POS, you mean piece of shit? Because that's what I'm interpreting that as. Am I misreading the statement? Anyway, I have a odd side story for you here. Hang on, I need to get my I need to look at my screenshots. The dryer. The dryer was not drying particularly well. So I had to pull it out and like shimmy my way behind it. First off, thank God I'm thin enough to actually squeeze back there without having to completely remove the dryer. But second of all, you know what the biggest problem whenever I was trying to get myself behind the dryer? It was my ass. My badonkadonk. It was too big. I have a well-endowed backside. Too caked up. Positive. Oh, okay. POS means positive, not piece of shit. Well, I don't know, man. Doesn't sound that way to me. Okay, so first things first. I gotta take out these corner pieces. Right. I can turn the sound back up. Eli, are you threatening to whack me in the junk there? Okay. Yeah, so this is what I got the dark oak for. When I hear POS, I think either point of sale or piece of shit. Like this is the type of discussion that I'm here for. All right, I'm not gonna hang out in the pit while it's getting dark like this. I'm gonna go hit the bunk. The buns are steel cortex, but the back is weak. Damn, no squat point redeemed today. Well, I haven't had squats on for probably 3 weeks now because like my back is doing a number on me, and I'm still trying to get it back to full. I promise, the minute that I can actually turn squats back on, I will. Okay. All right, cool. So that's that whole thing. Let's go ahead and zoom in on the image I have here. So we will just assume 1, 2, and then one, 2, 3. Okay, so... Yes, that is a mistake. That is a mistake on my part. Okay, so... I futzed it up. I futzed it up. I thought it looked wrong. Okay. I gotta be careful with this. This is a... I like doing these lattice patterns for my floors, but they are very particular about how you have to do block placement. So I'm being... I have to think very hard about my actions here and every single block I place. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. This will look a whole lot better once I'm fully done with it, because just getting all of the blocks down is the first step. Strife likes suffering. I mean... I guess I am a bit masochistic. Just a little bit, though. Only as a treat. A dirty, dirty treat. Man, the graveyard music. It's been so long. I really wish that I could go back to World of Warcraft and play it again, but I just can't. Like, I've tried to go back to World of Warcraft. It's not the same for me anymore. I'm very hopeful that my situation with my back will rectify soon. Mostly because, like, I actually managed to find a fab shop locally that I think is actually going to be able to fix the problem with my my normal office chair. And I've also made a hard decision. I'm like, okay, this is so much trouble. If I can't get this this fab shop to fix the part properly, then I've gotta turn around. And I've got to just buy a new chair. That is where I'm at right now. It's like either stop altogether, like this is either going to get fixed now, or it's time to just move on and find something that actually functions properly. All right, yeah, so more than enough. Okay, now for the real fun part. I gotta strip a bunch of logs. Alright. Oh, chat, look at me. I'm stripping. Oh, right on stream. Oh, look at all of my naked goodness. My hard, naked wood. Oh, my. Oh. No more bark to be seen. Oh, it's so dirty. Oh, God. Tev is in the other room, and I just look over on my other monitor, and I see a message from Tev, and it's just William. Just this unimpressed. So this is the very interesting and beautiful thing about making lattice patterns in Minecraft for your floors. And you can do this for your walls too. I prefer to do it for floors. The big critical thing for making lattice patterns that look really, really good is to ensure that the blocks that can be placed, you know, sideways, that they have a hard color change. Like it's important that the edge of the block is either much brighter or much darker than the center of the block. So in the case of this dark oak, you can see that there's like a darker pixel along the edges. And that is what makes the lattice pattern work. You have to have that really hard color change, because otherwise it doesn't really look all that interesting or good. All right. And actually, it looks like it's still pretty good whenever I do this to the corner pieces. So we'll do these extra pieces as well. What? No bark? Then what's that sound? Oh my god. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have fun. And hope to see you the next time I stream. Alright. This farm will be completed very soon. What I have to do next is get my hands on, what is it, 18 buckets? I have to get 18 buckets and fill them up with water. So that'll be fun. Let's go ahead and put some materials away first, though. Got some cobble, and we've got some dark oak to toss into the bin. Doomsday just redeemed say S word. Sensuous, because that's what I did. That's what I did. I put in sensuous because, like, that's what I did with my words. I was very sensuous. Herman Miller, one of those Logitech seats? Oh, hell no, hell no. I will not be buying myself a piece of furniture that's that level. Like, I'm not interested in doing that, basically. Like if I get a new chair, it's going to be an expensive chair. It's going to be made out of hardwood and full grain leather. Sensuous, sexy French strife time. God. All right. I don't know how I should feel about this, but okay. Wait a minute. I'll do this after I finish listening to this track, because I really like this track. I mean, I know the lyrics to this track. I've listened to it so many times. All right. So 17. What is it? So Oh, the sun went down. All right. Next step is to empty out the existing one over here. God, what are you... Get the fuck out of here. Stupid spiders. I don't have time for... Get off my property. Get... Go. Get. And that... is basically the... That is the end of it. Now I can do the very persuasive William Strife of a French origin. Don't worry about my beautiful French accent. It is what they call Parisian. The ice is my mortal enemy. Look at me. Alright, now that that is done, let us refill and I shall fill my bouquets. From this pristine pool. I appear to have filled all of my inventory. Now it is time to start. A 1, a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and there we go. And we hit the button. And we witness the filling of the pool. And there we have it. I have doubled my capacity. Look at this. Yes, so much more ice shall be seen from the passage here. Alright, so that is done. Let us look at the board. Make a new ice farm. We do not have to worry about that anymore. We'll go ahead and just delete that. That is done. Let us see. Gather redstone. Yes, I do need to gather more redstone. Find another end city. Enderman farm. Build a new portal access. Yes, here we go. I need to build additional portal access. Because as it currently stands, the way that I can access the end portal is a bit of a roundabout method. This is the original building that I constructed to reach the end of the portal. The problem here is that it is a bit of a winding process. I want to do something that is a bit more easy to traverse with speed. I left a breadcrumb trail here. You go around several corners and then you arrive here. See? Oui? Oui? See? See? Oui? Alright, so let me switch to something here. Alright. This looks like the same place, but it is not. For look, things have not been done. This is a backup world in single player that I have. And I have figured out how to make an access point and where it would come out without actually having to do it on the world first. So, where is this? Which side is this on? Okay, so it's over here. Go 3 blocks back and then start working on these stairs. Fine and fantastic. Right, go back to this. Log into the server again. Oh, petit croissant. Let me look for another playlist to put on. The only thing that I am missing right now is a fantastic what you call it? The only thing that I am missing at the current moment is I would go ahead and just use a bit of this to get the job done. All I am missing right now to complete the feel and the look of what I am doing and my accent is a French-made costume. Unfortunately, there is not enough time in the day for me to have a French-made costume put on. It is just outside of the realm of possibility. Ach, scraplu. Alright, I have arrived. I have emerged. Star Wars would be interesting and Sims Medieval is almost there, just add some mods. The only MMO I managed to get into was Star Wars The Old Republic. Oh god, I've been 15 seconds behind for who knows how long. Alright. Oh my. There appears to be a cave back there. Alright. Looks like she is done. Very beautiful. Oh my. That is not good. That is void space I must think about now. That is not. That is even worse. Die, creeper! Look, it is the old type of tunnels. It is the old spaghetti tunnels that you could find. Oh, it intersects with the with the fortress. All right, that appears to be done. Nothing to worry about. Very beautiful. And that is the end of the accent. Thank you very much for redeeming the accent. Not a lot of accent redeems happen these days. Not a lot of redemptions of any of the things that you can do happen these days. I get it. I've done a pretty poor job of like creating good incentives, good things to redeem even. If anything, a lot of the stuff that I've put up as like redemption options, they've gotten a little bit stale, you know? They got a little bit boring. Which is all on me, in all honesty. Oops. You can always rely on me redeeming a French accent. Oh, wait. Spaghetti. Yeah, Tev and I we're doing something spaghetti adjacent this week for dinner. We're doing meatball subs. Had to go out and buy more meatballs for it. And a couple of loaves of garlic bread. Could make it at home, but you know. Frankly, like, does anybody else like really, really try their best to not use the oven during the summer? Because that's where I'm at, you know? It's like, yeah, I try not to use the oven during the summer because it's, oh man, it's so freaking hot already, and I don't wanna make it worse. Like, winter's so much better for that reason. It's like, what are we gonna do for winter? I was like, oh, let's use the freaking oven almost every single day. I should probably pass the night because I do not want to deal with freaks. New idea for redeem. Cat cam. You'll attach a GoPro to the cat's collar and have them in the corner of the stream as your face cam. God. Like, I could, but here's the problem with that. There is personal identifying information around the house, and I can't have the cats showing any of that off, and it would require that the house itself is incapable of It would be so much work to strip that information out of the house and make certain that it is never ever visible. So for that reason alone, I can't do it. Yeah, we try not to. It's why we have a countertop mini oven. We try to use our grills if we can think of something to cook on there. Man, air fryer MVP for the summer. Yeah, the air fryer has totally turned out to be like something, an indispensable thing. Like I was super skeptical of an air fryer for a long time. It was just like, this sounds like the dumbest thing ever. But now that I've got one, I'm like, dude, this thing works so much faster and it generates so much less heat. Like, I should have had one of these years ago. Okay, so what's the distance that we're looking at here? Because I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, I guess. No, 26. 26 is where it's at. Okay. So, we'll do this with torches. 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Yeah. That spacing will work. That spacing will work. I'm trying to think how this is all going to look. I think the first thing that I need to focus on is whether or not, like, what type of stairs am I going to use? And I'm thinking that I might use, I might rely on something like deep slate for stairs. Let's put away this this ice. And as annoying as it is time for me to do another round of harvesting. Grab that up. You don't use sandstone a lot, which is a shame because it's my favorite block in the palette. Man, we've all got our colors that we really gravitate towards. For me, it's always like, you know, the nether brick, red nether brick, etc. Whew. You know, now that I think about it, I have a buttload of endstone here. Maybe instead of using deep slate, I specifically use endstone stairs. And I'll use PurPur as a decorative block. Because that's really what makes the most sense in this scenario, I think. Or maybe I do use deep slate. Maybe I use deep slate for the stairs. And then I use endstone brick and PurPur block to make the walls. Maybe that's what I do. Man, I got a freaking full complement of stuff I got to get done this week. I have to try and figure out who I gotta try to get some sort of a solar installer out to my house to figure out what I can and can't get done here for solar installations. Because man, I spend too much time on Reddit, you know, and I looked at my power bill and I was like, God, that seems awfully high for how little I used my air conditioner this last month. It felt at least like I didn't use the air conditioner all that much. And then I looked at the local subreddit for like the city I live in, and everybody was like, what the hell happened to the electrical bills? Like everybody's complaining about their electric bills, and I'm like, okay, cool. So the power company is actually hosing people right now. So like that put me on like a freaking crusade now, where I'm like, okay, let's find out if I can actually get solar installed in some capacity and put at least a dent in my power usage. You know, I haven't logged into my dashboard on the power company's website either in a long time, because like, what am I gonna do? Like negotiate the price down? They'll never do that. Boy, I gotta find time to work that whole system over again. I got a bunch of chorus fruit that I need to cook. Okay. No more space for that. Golly, I'm stacked to the gills with stuff that I don't need anymore. Criminy. Stuff it wherever I can fit it. All right, stretch her wide open. We gotta fit it in. We'll go ahead and grab up some additional. We're gonna fill the buckets up with lava. Like I'm not gonna start the smelting process up, but I do want to get extra buckets of lava ready to go. So. Ugh. Fixed ideas. You find a stray and attach a GoPro. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, so... And... we'll run this through a stone cutter, I guess. I gotta figure out where I put that deep slate, too. There it is. Some PurPur columns. I believe I left deep slate in the church. I know that I had deep slate sitting around here. Where the hell did I put it? Did I put it in the smelter? I may have put it in the smeltery. Where the hell did I put the deep slate? Like, I went down into the depths. I know that I got deep slate somewhere. Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay. So we'll make deep slate tile stairs. And this is definitely not going to be enough, ultimately. But this will do the job. This will at least get me started, basically. And we'll just... rip out the necessary stone where I have to. Whoops. That's my stopping alarm. Uh-oh. Chat, I have to stop streaming. Wah, wah. Well, I'll keep going just long enough to get a little bit of this done. Well, that got me closer to the top than I expected it to. Okay, so we'll go ahead and slap in the necessary columns. God damn it. And I'll have to give some thought to how I'm going to do the walls. Because I don't know if I want the walls to just be straight flat, or if I want them like a little bit indented or something. This is going to be everything that I can do for now. Take out the... Take this out because it's the very end of it. Oh, come on. All right, cool. That is everything that I can get done today. There's plenty more for me to get to do as well. I kind of like the fact that there's still plenty to finish off. I don't know if I'll do this on my own time or if I'll stream the rest of it. It depends on how I feel going forward, you know? Okay, and on that wondrous note, chat, I am going to have to stop here. So I want you all to know that I am quite happy to have had you along for the ride, no matter how significant or minimal or whatever. I don't know. Better idea. Same name cat cam. Someone redeems it, and then for the next 10 to 20 minutes, you'll wear cat ears and purr every time someone subs or donates. Okay, Uncle Sup, that's actually a really good idea. I already have freaking cat ears that I can put on that are up on the shelf that somebody bought for me ages ago. Also, hello, Squid, and I am so sorry, but it's time for me to end. I will see all of you guys on the weekend, if not during Tev stream. Catch you later.